Let me come. I need to get the fuck out of California. I could definitely move here and save some money. I'm leaving America. Shalom, my name is No Limit Eddie. I'm a 24-year-old American who's been living and traveling abroad for the last 3 years. And I've documented all of this journey here on this YouTube channel. If that sounds interesting to you, drop a like on today's video so YouTube recommends you more content you'll love. The number one reason you should not be moving to Africa is if you are broke. The amount of people who think moving to Africa is just going to solve all their financial problems, listen, it won't. If you're bad with money, you're bad with money. Moving to Africa won't change that. In fact, just the other day, I got these YouTube comments and I want to read them to you really quick. But what you should know is this story is very, very common. I've been in Egypt for 4 months now. I'm struggling to make ends meet. I don't know what to do. I want to leave, but I barely have money for food. That was the first comment. The second comment was, Shalom Eddie, I need some serious advice, exponentially. I believe she was trying to maybe say expeditiously. I live in Dahab, Egypt. I'm having difficulty making ends meet. I was homeless in America. I don't know what to do. See, there's a saying that goes, everywhere that I go, there I go. You see this woman in her comments, she was homeless in America. And now, only 4 months in to living in Egypt, she's on the verge of being homeless again. Everywhere she goes, she will run into the same issue because the issue is not money, the issue is not the cost of living, the issue is not anything besides the mentality. You should not move to Africa if you're bad with money. And when I say bad with money, I mean you have the latest and greatest iPhone, but you're getting pink envelopes in the mail saying your life's going to be cut off. Or you have credit card debt that you got from buying
a bullshit
that had no chance of bringing you more money than you spent on it, but you bought it anyway. Now, again, if this is you, right, if you're the person who's getting the late notices in the mail, you're the person who has unnecessary credit card debt, if you're the person who, right, is struggling to make ends meet, if that's you, like, don't think that I'm calling you out and being hard on you. It's just like this happens all the time where people take this leap of faith and they fall flat on their face. And I want to do my best to prevent that from being you. And so I have to let you know that who you are in the States will be who you are in America. Yes, I moved to Africa at 21 years old, but I want you to understand, I was already having motion while I was in the States. By the time I was already 19, I had zero credit card debt, zero student loan debt, I had my own place, multiple cars, a very strict budget, and I've been making money online since I was 17. So based on my age standards, I had my life pretty much together. Coming to a place like Egypt where I am now, or Tanzania where I was before, like where I first started, it just allowed me to continue to do what I was already doing, but in overdrive. I'm already great with money. And if you're not where you want to be in life, it's probably because you have a poor mindset, right? Poor. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Because if you're not where you want to be in life, I guarantee you, it's because you're continuously passing over opportunities. Because you're fearful, or because you're skeptical, or because you're nervous, or because you procrastinate. Okay? So you need to overcome that mindset, fix that first, and then once you got that mindset fixed, then move over to the concept. Another reason why you should not be moving to Africa is you did not plan. Hold up. I know what you're thinking. Because every time I make one of these videos, there's a bunch of people in the comments talking about, this won't happen to me because I'm going to take X amount of years to plan. I've been planning my relocation for this amount of years. I visited this amount of times before I made the move. They're talking all this jazz in the comments about why they're going to be so much more prepared, why they're not going to fail, why they're going to make it work. But they don't understand they're actually operating in a logical fallacy. They are operating in a logical fallacy because they believe that it takes time to make a decision when it actually takes information. How many times have you said, I'll think about it, when it came to making a decision? That's because you believe that with time comes information. But that's actually not how the world works. You see, in reality, right now today, with who I am and what I know, I can move me, myself, my sister, my dog, my cat, give me a wife and 10 kids. I can move everybody to a brand new country in 30 days or less. Because I know the exact things to research and the exact process to go through to get that information. I actually cover this all in my Ultimate African Relocation Guide, which you can pick up using the link in the description. I've met so many people who've been planning their relocation for years and years. And I can ask them a simple question, and you'll think I asked them the theory of relativity. If you cannot plan, aka gather proper information in a timely fashion, you're going to be clapped. You won't last more than 6 months. People give themselves these long time frames, these 3, 5, 10-year time frames to procrastinate solving the real issue. Money. You see, you don't have any idea how to make a living while living abroad. And your hope is that in that 3, 5, 10-year period, you'll somehow come across an opportunity or something that's going to put you in a financial position to actually make your dream come true. Sound familiar? By the way, it's Eddie here. It's super loud. I'm in the airport right now, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick message. For those of you guys who are like, okay, I'm in the airport, like I said. How do you travel? How do you do the things that you're doing without ever talking about going to work, without ever talking about having to clock in or clock out for your job or have to ask for time off? Well, I created a free training. It's 10 minutes long and it's in the description of my video. If you always wanted to know how to make money online, well, now is a really good time to learn. Click the link in my description and put your name and email in and watch the free training. Another reason to not move to Africa is that you expect the same level of comfort and customer service that you get in the States. Look, Africa is different. And I can hear some of you guys in the comments right now, oh Eddie, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. Every place is different and blah, blah, blah. I'm in Africa. Do you think that I just got on my phone, take us to Africa, and somehow ended up here? I clearly know there are different countries on the continent of Africa. But I'm not going to caveat 54 or 53 different times for each, well, this country's like this, and that country's like this. No. I'm speaking to a general crowd of people, a mass amount of people, and so I'm going to generalize. Okay? Africa is not yet at the point where customer service is important. And the reason why is, in some industries, there are very few businesses. Meaning that those few businesses that operate in particular categories have monopolies on the market. You don't have really anywhere else to go. The best way to explain this is, let's say there's a tire shop in the country of Uganda, and they fix tires. If you have a flat tire, and this is the only tire shop in a 30-mile radius, you're going to end up having to go to that tire shop to get your tire fixed. So that person who runs that tire shop can say, you stupid, blah, 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 they can say anything to you. But if you want your tire fixed, you're going to have to go to him because he's the only one open in this radius. And so they have a monopoly on certain businesses because there's not that many. But as in a place like America, where competition is really, really, really increased, act as a capital is very easy, you have to compete and separate and differentiate yourself, not just on the service you provide, but on the customer service you provide, right? On the experience you provide. But Africa is not there yet. When you come to the continent, just know the customer is not always right. Another big thing to know, it's random, it's not fully attached to this, but just know the pedestrian does not have the right of way. When somebody buys a car in Africa, head inflated. They don't care about pedestrians, so don't think that you have the right of way ever in any point in Africa, because that will save your life, okay? The customer is not always right, and the pedestrian does not have right of way. Keep those two in mind, and you'll be good. Now, this right here is a big, big, big reason you should not move to Africa, and that is you have no burning desire. There's this book that I read. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And in the very first chapter, the author talks about the necessity to have a burning desire if you are to translate your goals, your dreams, your ambitions from your head to your reality. And the same thing is true when it comes to moving and living in Africa. If you have no burning desire to make it true, the moment life begins to test you and push you, the moment you get a chin check from life while you're in Africa, you're going to fold. You're going to load up that suitcase, get on a plane, and be right back to the comfort of the United States. There is no way, to my knowledge at least, to cultivate this mindset. You must already have it. You must know in your mind firmly that living abroad, moving to Africa, is for you, and that there is no other way for you to live besides this way. And I know this may sound goobly gobbly, hip, like some hippie kind of stuff, but it's true, because if you don't have that burning desire inside of you for living here, like you don't have a big reason why, you won't have the motivation to sustain yourself spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially while living here. When you have that burning desire, it's going to make you to take action, almost without thinking. You're not going to spend 5 years planning because you need to be there now, right? You're not going to cry and complain about the inconveniences because the reason why you're here is bigger than the inconveniences you're experiencing. Right, so once you have that burning desire, everything else becomes easier. The final reason you should not be moving to Africa is if you lack respect for other cultures. American exceptionalism is a very real thing. When we travel abroad, even carry that American exceptionalism within us. And that has been a good thing for me, that mindset has been good, but it also needs to be put in check and needs to be balanced, okay? Because if not, that American exceptionalism mindset has us thinking that we know best. And it can almost become a God complex after a while. You hear it all the time. We need to go back and help the Africans. We need to go back and teach them things. We need to go back and build jobs. Like, we never say we need to go to Africa and study. We need to go to Africa and learn. We need to go to Africa so that we can be helped. We're always going and talking about how we want to uplift and build things. A lot of times we're talking about this before we even touch foot on the ground. A lot of people who've come to the continent with that mindset actually ended up worse off than they started. They ended up getting exploited. They ended up getting robbed. They ended up getting taken advantage of. And they're met with such hostility. And they start thinking in their mind, okay, I came here to do good, at least that's the thing. I came here to do good, and this is how I'm treated. Right? Maybe Africa is not for me. So I'm going to say something very crazy here, very controversial. Don't come to Africa to help. Don't come to Africa to build. Don't come to Africa to give. Come to the continent of Africa to live your best life, to help yourself. Pull the log out of your own eye before you worry about pulling a splinter out of your brother's eye. That's my take. That's my opinion, and that's what I've been doing. Right? Because you can't really, that's why that Bible verse exists, you can't really help someone else until you first help yourself. And so a lot of people are in a very iffy position and situation in the States, but because they have this American exceptionalism in them, they have this God complex in them, because I'm American, I know better than these local Africans. And the local Africans generally teach them a lesson, right? A hard lesson. So don't come to Africa with that mentality or with that mindset. Come to Africa for your own life. Now, when I first came to the continent, I had the exact same mindset. When I learned that wasn't the way to go about it, I made a shift with speed, and I'm glad I did. Now, those are without a doubt the top 5 reasons you should not move to Africa. Me personally, without a doubt, I believe that every melanated person in the States should visit Africa. Okay? But look at this list and make it stack up and then determine if you should move here, okay? Because visiting, everyone should do it, that's my belief. But moving is not for everyone. Okay, so look at this list and see, should I be moving here, or do I need to change some things? Do I need to fix some things first before I make that move? Right? Do it like that. All right, with that being said, if you learned something in today's video, drop a humongous like on today's video. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all willing. Shalom.